In the lesson, his first flight, the young seagull completely forgot that he had not been always able to fly, and commended himself for diving and soaring and curving, shrieking shrilly. But he was tired and weak with his hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange experience. In this way, he had made his flight. Now, imagine yourself as the young seagull and describe your feelings about your first flight. Diary entry: place, date, day, time. Dear diary, today was the day I had been waiting for. At first, I felt nervous and unsure, but when I took that leap, it felt so freeing. As I soared high in the sky, I felt like I could touch the clouds. I was no longer just a little seagull on the ground. The air around me was so fresh, and the wind beneath my wings made me feel light and free. But soon, hunger began to creep up on me. I was so weak from exhaustion that I couldn't continue flying. My wings felt tired, and my body felt heavy. But in that moment, I knew I had made my flight. The feeling of gliding, the rush of soaring, it was all worth it, even if I was too tired to fly further. I can't wait to try again when I'm stronger. Young Seagull. B. In the lesson, his first flight, Mother Seagull was very sad. She is worried about her little son. He was unable to fly. He didn't have any confidence. She tried to build confidence in him, but she could not. She was very much anxious about his undoing. Imagine yourself as the Mother Seagull and write your feelings in a diary entry. Diary entry: place, date, day, time. Dear diary, my heart aches as I watch my little one struggle to fly. I tried to encourage him, to push him to take that leap, but his fear holds him back. I can see the hesitation in his eyes, and it breaks my heart. I know he's scared, and I understand his fear. But I want him to feel the wind under his wings, to feel the freedom of the sky. I know it's hard for him, and I can only hope that one day, he'll have the courage to fly. Until then, I'll be here, watching over him, hoping he finds his confidence. He may not believe in himself now, but I do. I know that one day, he'll take that leap and soar high, just like I did when I was young. Mother Seagull. B. Now in the lesson, Black Aeroplane, the narrator flew his Dakota and reached England safely through the huge black storm clouds. The pilot of the Black Aeroplane guided him. After landing at the airport, he inquired the woman in the control center about the pilot. But the woman said that there was no other pilot and no other aeroplane flew that night. The narrator was surprised. Imagine you are in the place of the narrator and write a diary entry about the day's experience. Place, date, day, time. Dear diary, what an extraordinary day. I was flying through the storm, desperate to find a safe path when suddenly, a strange thing happened. A black aeroplane appeared from nowhere, guiding me through the thick clouds. The pilot didn't say a word, but I felt as though he was leading me to safety. The clouds were terrifying, but the presence of that mysterious aeroplane gave me comfort. When I landed safely, I immediately asked the woman in the control center about the pilot, but she looked at me in confusion. There was no other aeroplane, and no pilot had guided me. I can't explain what happened. Was it real, or was it some kind of divine intervention? I'll never forget the strange feeling of being saved by that unknown pilot. Narrator. B. In the story, The Midnight Visitor, Seagull shows great presence of mind, the ability to think quickly and act calmly and wisely in a situation of danger and surprise. He gets Max with the attitude mentioned above. The wise talk from Seagull makes Max believe that there is a balcony near the window. Fowler, the reporter, is the silent spectator for the entire episode. He was surprised about the time sense and presence of the mind of Seagull. Imagine yourself as a Fowler and write a diary entry about the incident. Diary entry. Place, date, day, time. Dear Diary, today, I witnessed something I'll never forget. I was accompanying Seagull when a dangerous situation unfolded. A man named Max broke into the room, intending to harm us. But Seagull, so calm and composed, handled the situation brilliantly. He tricked Max into believing that there was a balcony outside the window, making him feel threatened. Max was completely fooled by Seagull's quick thinking. I was stunned by how easily he turned the tables on Max. His sharp mind and ability to stay calm in such a tense moment were extraordinary. I was just a silent observer, amazed by the wisdom and bravery that Seagull displayed. I've never seen anyone so unshaken under pressure. Today, I learned the true meaning of composure in a crisis. Fowler. B. Horace Danby was surprised when the police arrested him for the jewel robbery. He understood that he was cheated by the pretty young lady who demanded him open the safe at Shotover Grange. Imagine you are Horace Danby and make a diary entry about the bitter experience. Place, date, day, time. Dear Diary, I cannot believe what has happened. Today, I was arrested for a crime I did not commit. I have been living a life of honesty, but I made one mistake, trusting a woman I barely knew. She tricked me into robbing the safe at Shotover Grange, and I fell for it. She was so charming, so convincing, and I believed her story without question. Little did I know, she was just using me to get what she wanted. Now, here I am, sitting in a prison cell, realizing that my life is ruined because of my gullibility. I was so careful in my life, but one foolish mistake has cost me everything. How could I have been so naive? I will never trust anyone again. This betrayal is something I will never forget. Horace Danby. B. In the lesson, from the Diary of Anne Frank, Anne got along pretty well with all her teachers except Mr. Keesing, who teaches mathematics. Mr. Keesing was annoyed with Anne for a long time because she talked so much in the classroom. After several warnings, he assigned Anne some extra homework. Imagine you are in the place of Anne Frank and describe your thoughts when Mr. Keesing assigned you extra homework as a punishment for your talking in class. Place, date, day, time. Dear Diary, oh, Mr. Keesing. Why does he always pick on me? I know I talk a lot in class, but that's just who I am. It's not like I do it on purpose to disturb anyone. Today, he assigned me extra homework as a punishment for talking too much. I was furious at first, but then I thought, maybe I can turn this into something fun. He thinks I'm just a chatterbox, but he doesn't understand that I have so much to say. Anyway, now I have more work to do, but I'll make the best of it. Maybe I'll even use this extra homework to show him that I can be serious too, even though it's hard for me to stay quiet for long. Let's see how he reacts when I finish it with a bit of my own flair. B. The lesson, Madam Rides a Bus introduces a girl Valli to us. She enjoyed many things in the village, of which, the bus journey between the village and the town was the most interesting experience for her. It was a source of unending joy. Write a description of Valli's feelings towards the bus and the passengers. Place, date, day, time. Dear Diary, today was the most exciting day of my life. I had been dreaming of riding the bus for so long, and today, my dream finally came true. The moment I stepped onto that bus, I felt like the queen of the world. The excitement inside me was overwhelming as the bus began to move, and I saw the whole village disappearing behind me. The journey to the town was so full of adventure. I was fascinated by the faces of the passengers, who seemed so calm and serious. They didn't understand how thrilling this was for me. I watched them closely, imagining their lives. To me, the bus was not just a mode of transport, it was a magic carpet that could take me anywhere. The experience made me feel free and independent. I could hardly wait to go on another ride soon. In the lesson, The Necklace, Matilda's life is ruined because of a small mistake. In the end, she came to know that she had to struggle hard for nothing. Now, write a description, diary entry of her feelings as she knew that the necklace was not made of gold. Place, date, day, time. Dear diary, how cruel fate has been to me. For 10 long years, I toiled and suffered, believing that I had to repay a great debt for the necklace I lost. My beauty faded, my hands grew rough with endless labor, and my life turned into a miserable existence. All because of a single night of happiness. And today, I learned the truth. The necklace I borrowed from Madame Forestier was not real. It was a worthless piece of costume jewelry. My heart aches at the thought of all I have lost. If only I had been honest, if only I had told her the truth, my life would not have been ruined. Oh, how foolish I was to crave luxury and wealth. My pride destroyed me, and now, I am left with nothing but regret. Matilda. In the sermon at Benares, Kisa Gotami went from house to collect a seed of mustard. She was looking for a house from which nobody died, to collect the mustard seed. She met many people in search of such a house. Now, imagine you are Kisa Gotami and write a description, diary of the feelings of Kisa Gotami as she moved around the houses. Place, date, day, time. Dear diary, I walked from house to house today, desperately searching for a mustard seed from a family that had not known death. My heart ached as I asked every person I met, but every answer was the same: death had touched them all. At first, I felt angry, wondering why life had been so cruel to me. But as I continued my journey, something within me started to change. I realized that death is a part of life, and no one can escape it. Every family has faced loss, and I was not alone in my grief. The mustard seed that I sought was not the solution to my pain. It was only when I accepted the truth of life and death that I began to understand. I feel both sorrow and peace, for now I know that I must let go of my pain and move forward. Kisa Gotami. In the lesson, The Proposal, Ivan Lamov, a longtime wealthy neighbor of Steven Chubukov, also comes to seek the hand of Chubukov's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. All these are quarrelsome people. They quarrel over petty issues. The marriage proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling. But economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made after all. Imagine yourself as Natalia and describe your feelings when you came to know about Ivan Lamov's marriage proposal. Place, date, day, time. Dear diary, today, everything changed. Ivan Lamov, the man I've known for so long, proposed to me. I can't believe it. He's always been so particular about everything, and we've had our share of arguments, but now, here he was, asking for my hand in marriage. At first, I was taken aback. My heart was racing. All the little quarrels, the petty disagreements, it seemed so trivial now in the face of this big question. But then, I realized how much sense it made. Despite our arguments, Ivan and I are both practical people, and I saw the value in his proposal. After all, he's wealthy, and we've always been close. It may not be the romantic proposal I dreamed of, but it's practical, and that makes it meaningful in its own way. I'm not sure what the future holds, but today, I feel a strange sense of certainty. NATYALA. B. In the one-act play, The Book That Saved the Earth, Lieutenant Iota, a historian narrates about a book called Mother Goose which saved the Earth from the Martian invasion of 2040. Imagine yourself as the historian Lieutenant Iota and write your feelings in a diary entry. Place, date, day, time. Dear Diary, a historic event. What an extraordinary day. I never imagined that a simple book like Mother Goose could save the Earth. As a historian, I've studied many important events, but today's events are unlike anything I could have ever anticipated. The Martians came, believing that the Earth's inhabitants were weak and easy to conquer. But they underestimated the power of our culture. Mother Goose, a children's book, of all things, confounded them completely. The stories, the nursery rhymes, were so ridiculous to them that they couldn't understand our ways of thinking. It made them believe that humanity was too illogical to be a threat. Today, I witnessed a piece of literature save the world. I feel both proud and humbled by this strange turn of events. It's amazing to think that something so simple can hold such power.